Elizabeth Kahindi, a nurse, and Henry Mwaura, an advocate, but currently doing business, met during Henry's farewell party to London. They exchanged contacts and tried working out a long-distance relationship, which failed.
He called me to tell me he has dumped me.
After the breakup, Elizabeth moved on and was involved in another relationship, which amounted to a formal proposal. However, just before the two could tie the knot.
So I broke it off because there was a lot of external pressure in the relationship. I felt like he took his family's side more than he listened to me. And there were other small issues that really affected our relationship. It just did not work. We tried.
According to the wedding planner, all was set, waiting for the big day to arrive. But she never heard a word from the couple.
She called me last year. In my head, I thought we are continuing from the place where we left it at. Well, it was a shocker, and just someone tells you, you know what, Mercy, it's not the same guy. I got somebody else, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is huge. I think you can only be too lucky to be able to get 2 engagements in one lifetime.
According to the wedding planner, it is common for couples to break off their engagements for one reason or another.
Sometimes you get couples who postpone their wedding, or it's just delayed for certain reasons, or maybe a misunderstanding comes in, and so you know what, the date that was planned might not happen, but in future it will happen.
And for Elizabeth, she decided to follow her instinct as far as her relationship was concerned and called off the engagement.
I gave him the ring and I went back to my parents because I knew it would not work out.
And from that experience, Elizabeth has some piece of advice for anyone that is about to get married but have a nagging feeling not to.
My advice to someone who feels like this thing is not working, just walk out. Don't get into something when you're not sure, because it will come back to you.
So when Henry came back to Kenya and his previous relationship was also on the rocks, Elizabeth and Henry coincidentally bumped into each other in Nairobi. After many texts and phone calls, Elizabeth stopped playing hard to get and finally gave in to Henry's demands.
So we talked, we spoke, we exchanged numbers. He could still remember my number. When we met, that was it. We decided, I asked him, do we pick up from where we left off or we start afresh? He told me, let's start afresh. It's been a long time. So we started again.
After 2 years of dating and trying to persuade Elizabeth that he was serious about her, Henry finally decided to make a formal proposal.
We go to Oltukai, we were shown our rooms, of course, all that. We got a tour guide. He took us to a small hill called Observation Hill. That's why they take their tourists to watch animals. So while we were there, he took out so many papers. He had written down 100 reasons why I love you. So I was reading, then some made me teary, some made me laugh out loud. Then he went down on his knee on that hill. It was so beautiful.
The couple is now planning a white wedding that will cost them 1.5 million Kenya shillings, which is approximately 17,000 US dollars. Elizabeth is planning to spend nearly 100,000 Kenya shillings, approximately 1,200 US dollars for her outlook, only which is almost a third of her budget.
My hair, right now for the wedding, not this, but the hair that, of course, I'll have the Brazilian waves and all that. You know, the bunches are very small and one bunch is 10,000. He could not believe that it's 30,000 just to buy it. Then there'll be additional costs for
makeup,
everything,
putting it on.
On her big day, Elizabeth will be picked from her father's house in Kitengela Plain, located in the south of Nairobi, the capital of Kenya. Elizabeth will have to pass through Mombasa Road, a route known for having legendary traffic jams, and she fears being late. However, Henry has discovered an application that will assist them to arrive on time to church.
They have various cameras situated along various points within the city. So, and even our transport coordinator knows about it. So, and they give you live feed. It's an IP address. Once you type it on Google, then it will now bring up now the website, and then there'll be links to the various routes you want to see. So if you want Mombasa Road, you just click, and then it shows you a stretch. If you want somewhere in CBD, you click on the CBD link. We proposed that to our transport manager, and he was like, yeah, I know about that website.
It's 1 month to Elizabeth and Henry's wedding. Apparently, according to Elizabeth's wedding planner, Elizabeth was previously planning a nuptial, which was cancelled. Currently, Elizabeth is planning a second wedding with Henry. Today, Elizabeth will be meeting her wedding planner to finalize on the details of her big day. But first, the wedding planner gives us a brief comparison of how the planning process has been when Elizabeth was with her first fiancé and now with Henry.
At that point, you're just planning a wedding for someone who's just come in, a bride and groom who there's a lot under the bridge that's not coming out. But right now, it's quite different. You know, I've been able to meet the sister of the bride. I've met her bridesmaids. At that point, I never met anyone apart from the bride and the groom. Because we've even done like a site visit with the couple. I would say there's a lot of support, even from family and friends. Or it was really cold. It felt really cold, like it was just the bride and groom and hey, let's get married and move on. We're working with Chevari chairs. We're putting in a simple and elegant sort of feel to the day with what we'll be having for the decor. We've gotten centerpieces particularly customized for this bride. We'll be doing that from a logo that is being done, a signature logo that is going to be done on their walkway, and this is particularly being done just for this couple. I would say on the day what we'll expect is a lot of simplicity but elegance, a lot of touch, personal touch.
Finally, Elizabeth arrived to settle with her wedding planner on her big day's details. The couple settled to have a wedding planner to ease their planning process.
The gown is here?
Yes.
Oh, nice. I really just want to, see how it goes.
About that, but finally it's here.
On my end, I was just running through everything. I've just confirmed that the crystals are here for the branches. So I think that was the only last bit that we needed to confirm. Yeah. But it's already, they're here. So I think everything that we're looking forward to coming for the wedding day is already here. Okay. Now, you've already confirmed the place that you're being picked from?
Yes, I'll be picked from my folks' home in Kitengela.
Okay. So, does the person who's the vehicles already, does everyone know where the place is in Kitengela?
Yeah, the person who's coordinating the transport
knows where the place is.
Yes.
Okay, so knowing that going to Kitengela and coming back all the way to town, we don't want to be caught up in traffic. So I think we'll work very well. We need to, tighten that, especially with the timekeeper, so that no one delays. And especially, I hope your car, once it's there, will be ready on the move. If any other car fails to come, at least if the bridal car is there, it's on time. Yeah, you realize that there's another wedding that is there just before your wedding. Yeah. And here it's going to end, estimate around 11:30. So that's why I'm really saying we need to be particular about time, because you remember that wedding ends, then we need to come in, do our decor for your wedding. And so that couple needs to move out, they do their photography, remove their flowers, and then we come in, put our decor, and then your wedding starts at 12.
There is another wedding before mine that will be from 10 a.m. I'm worried that if they delay, my wedding will also be delayed. Then everything will be delayed from that point.
Meanwhile, it's 3 weeks to Elizabeth and Henry's wedding. Today, Henry has traveled all the way to Kitengela for the dowry ceremony known as Nthio Nkamba. At Elizabeth's home, women are busy bees preparing sumptuous African delicacies before the guests arrive. Finally, Henry and his kin have arrived. In this ceremony, only close relatives and friends are invited, and women are belting out kamba tunes to welcome the guest. Before Henry and his family are allowed in, they must pay money to the women at the gate. For Henry to be given the bride, he must, together with his relatives and close friends, participate in the process of unveiling the bride. A fine is normally charged for any delay a person makes once their names have been called. After the unveiling, guests head over to satisfy their appetites. In this ceremony, the groom is tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that the food and drinks are not only available, but also enough. During the ceremony, the bride is showered with gifts from their kin to take her to her matrimonial home. Finally, it's Elizabeth and Henry's big day. Apparently, according to Elizabeth's wedding planner, Elizabeth was previously planning a nuptial which was cancelled. At the bride's place, Elizabeth and her bridesmaids are already spruced up and ready to hit the road to make it to church on time.
I'm very anxious, because time is not on our side, but otherwise I'm happy. I expect to have a lovely day, good weather.
At the groom's place, Henry and his groomsmen are already ready and are having their photo shoot to remember this day. As they will have a long day, Henry and the groomsmen head over to the hotel to satiate their appetites.
If you get early, them they go to Serena, and us we go to Pan-Afric. So now I went to Pan-Afric, and all the men now in the lineup had now proper breakfast.
At the bride's place, the groom's family is already here to pick up the bride, according to the Kamba customs, and the women are welcoming the bride with traditional songs.
Moi kiwito tuamalenda. Moi kiwito tuamalenda. Tia ketia malenda.
Elizabeth's worst fear was to get late for the church ceremony, but luckily for her, they have managed to arrive 1 hour early. At the church, preparations are going on as guests trickle in. Since 2 weddings were scheduled to take place in this venue today, the decor people have had to wait for the first nuptial to end before they can do their job. Elizabeth walks down the red carpet aisle side by side with her folks.
As your parents do now give you Elizabeth Kaindi to Henry, whom you have accepted to be your husband.
I promise before God and this congregation to be a loving, dutiful, and faithful husband.
Until death shall separate us.
In times of ease or times of hardship.
In times of prosperity or times of poverty.
To love you and make you happy. With that which I have and what I shall have.
And what I shall have in the days to come, as long as we live with the help of God.
The new couple heads over to have their photo shoot as the guests head over to the reception. At the reception, everything is set, waiting for the 2 lovebirds together with their guests to arrive. The decor follows a fuchsia and gray theme together with the restaurant setup. Back at the photo shoot, Mr. and Mrs. Moaura are back from their photo shoot and welcomed in song and dance by their family and friends. wish Elizabeth and Henry a happy ever after. What are your sentiments regarding today's show? Share with us on our Facebook fan page, Samantha's Bridal. Follow us on Twitter at Samantha's Bridal, or simply log on to our website, www.samanthasbridal.co.ke.